Welcome back, crew. It's July, and we are diving into the amazing Stars Without Numbers system by Kevin Crawford. Today, we're getting into my favorite part of any new tabletop RPG. We're diving into building a PC utilizing the SWN rule set. So, we're going to go through and show you how to build your attributes, set your skills, everything you need to know to build a functional Stars Without Number PC and get to run them in the system. Nice thing with this too is we're also going to show off a little bit of Foundry. Big shout out to Kevin Crawford and Stars Without Number. It's a lot of the resources are free, which allows the Foundry developers to be able to pull in like the equipment, focuses, skills, all the cool things in there, so you don't have to go through and type them all out manually, which I love to see. Very similar to Pathfinder 2e. Also, stay tuned. I'm adjusting my little schedule a little bit. I do want to throw in a kind of a video showcasing what you get with the free version versus what you get with the paid version, because this is another cool one to help make it easier for people to play. And I always love when systems make it easy for people to play. But before we dive into that, I do want to give a shout out to our newest Patreon, Ken. Thank you for coming through and supporting the channel. For those who don't know, we recently started a Patreon, and he joined as part of the crew tier, which gives him access to a quarterly Patreon game utilizing some of the rule sets we've reviewed in the past. I think we're up to like 15 or 16 now, as well as the opportunity to vote once a quarter on what game we're going to cover for that next month. So thank you for the support, as well as a huge shout out to both Chris and Heather, our first two patrons as well. Truly appreciate you all coming through for us. But yeah, let's dive into it. So we're going to go through and build a PC utilizing this rule set. Truly, if you're new to a system, go through, build a PC. It's the best way to learn it, whether you can be a player or a game master. For game master, it's going to show you where your players are going to have questions. For both, it's going to show you what the rule sets are, what the system values. And usually, I write things down as I'm going through, as I'm building for questions I have, and usually at the end of it, I got a decent idea of what the system's about and know where I need to research more. So we're going to go through, and as always, when you first build a PC, I recommend coming up with a concept for that PC just to help keep you on track. Now, Stars Without Number is a little bit different. It's old school with how you roll the stats, but I think I mentioned in my first impressions video, I love psychic powers, and I love being a little bit of a warrior mindset, so we already know what we're doing a little bit going in, but we are still going to be utilizing the random rolls and see how it plays out for us. But we're going to be building Ty. He is a mercenary for hire, a little bit of a quick talker, what he can be, but definitely soldier. He's good at shooting, running, fighting, all that, as well as got some untapped psychic potential he's been training to bring out, mostly around telekinesis. So we're going to go through and see if we can build that concept with this rule set, and see kind of what attributes and abilities we need to pick to do so. But first thing, this is a crazy big shout out because it always makes my day when I see it. They've got a two-page character summary of character creation that you can go through the steps, and by the time you're done, you've got your character made. I've said it before in these videos. Having these makes life so much easier for players, game masters, people reviewing systems like me, because it's just so easy to go in and see what you need to do and have it clearly laid out without a ton of like fluff and like writing in between. So thank you for doing that. Before we dive into the actual building of our PC, one other thing I want to give a credit to as well is they've got a quick character creation sheet too, which is another two-pager, which just shows you how to go through and quickly build a character, and you can probably do it like 5 minutes, and just go through and have a character you could run and throw into the game. In case yours dies, because from what I've heard from the writing in Stars Without Number, as well as just around the space, it's old school. Like it's got that old school Renaissance feel where life is cheap and adventures die every day. So if your PC dies during an adventure, you can go through quick character creation and get another guy to throw in and still keep up with the adventure. But yeah, let's jump back to that character creation sheet. We're going to go through in order and go to kind of the corresponding section in the book so you guys get a little feel for it. So the first thing is determining our attributes. So with this, it's a 1 through 6, a kind of a 6 attribute system, pretty similar to 5e, the Pathfinder 2e. You got the strength through charisma. They all mean pretty much the same things as they do with those systems, so we're not really going to cover that portion. What we are going to do is go over how you build out your attributes. So with this system, you can either go through and do a standard array that they've got, which you see it's down here. We could do 14, 12, all the way down to 7. Or you can do an old school style, which they recommend, which is rolling 3d6 in order, and then you go utilize the stats you get for whatever order you roll in. One thing I will point out to you is if you do it in order, you get to change one of your stats to a 14. So we want to build Ty as a mercenary shooter with some psychic abilities. So our two most important stats are Dex and Wiz. So hopefully we roll good for Dex or Wiz, but the one that we don't roll well for, we're going to switch that over to a 14, which as you see over there with the modifiers, this is a big difference if you are coming from 5e or Pathfinder. Modifiers are calculated differently. A 3 is a -2 if you got all ones in your 3d6, which would suck. 4 through 7, -1. 8 through 13, pretty big space there. Just a flat modifier, +0. 14 through 17 +1, and if you got real lucky, you can get all three sixes, +18 there. So we're going to go through and roll and see what we get for our guy utilizing this rule set. So you're going to see our dice roller pop up. We're using Foundry, so we're going to see how we shake out with this. So we're going in order. So 3d6, so strength. So we're going to get a 13 for strength. 10, so dexterity right now is at a flat. We may bump that to a 14, depending on how bad wisdom does. And we're doing pretty good here. 11, so there's a +0 there. 15 for that's intelligence. Oh, that is intelligence. So he's very smart. You get a +1 for intelligence. And then wisdom. Well, they were rolling hot today. So we're gonna switch that the 14. We're gonna probably throw that into our decks, which will allow us to get a +1 for that, which is gonna give us some AC as well as some options for shooting too. 7. He's not the most charismatic, but we rolled really hot for everything else, so we can't complain. So we've got our stats figured out. We used our 14 freebie for our dexterity, and we're good to go. So let's go back to character creation. Let me minimize out that dice roller too. So we're going back over here. So we've already determined our ability modifiers. Did pretty hot, like only one minus. Now we're gonna go through and pick a background. So as I said, he's gonna be a pretty hot shot merc. He's definitely going to be somebody who worked for the mega corporations before, but decided to go freelance because he thought he could earn a few extra credits that way. So we're picking the soldier background. So backgrounds are so cool. There's two ways you can go about doing them. So with this, if you wanted to be precise, you could go through and pick the quick skills, which gives you any combat, which could be a stab, shoot. There's other combats I'm forgetting unarmed right now, but you can pick any one of those three. As well as the quick skills, you get exert and survive. So you get the free combat as well as two additional skills if you go through and you can pick the pre-generated and give you some additional control there. Now, if you wanted to be risky and roll it, you get an extra skill, and you get to roll them on the growth and learning tables. Nice thing for this is we'll get 3 rolls on it since we're going random, and they don't decide which one you roll on. So you get to pick that. So you can do all 3 on growth. You do 2 growth, 1 learning, which we're going to do for our guy, and see how they shake up for you. And we still get the free skill, which is any combat, which we're going to throw into stab. We wanted our guy to be quick with a knife, so it's going to help him out there. So, let's do a little bit of rolling. Let's see how this shakes out for our guy. So let's roll the 2d6 first. So 5, we get the exert skill. And a 4, we get +2 to physical. So with that, we're going to get exert at level 0. With skills, when you pick them in, you start at -1 if you don't have any proficiency in that skill. Once you gain the skill, you go to level 0. And if you get any additional options to either pick a free skill or you get another, like if we got another combat skill, we could stack that on the stab and put that up to a +1. With character creation, though, +1 is as high as you can go. I think you can go up to 4 or 5 with the rules as written, but during character creation, +1 is as much as you can stack from different abilities you get from there. So we're going to go through. We got exert there, but we also got +2 physical, which allows us to put 2 more points into one of our physical stats. So think strength, dexterity, constitution. What are we gonna do? We're going dexterity. We're just gonna chug it up a little bit more. So that's gonna push us up to a 16, which I think is still a +1, if I remember right. Yeah, that's all we need to do. We built out our background. So let's go back to our summary of character creation. So we've gone through our background. We decided whether to roll for additional skills or to pick them. And then if we're going to, we've already done that piece too. So now we can go through and choose our class. So with this system, there are four core classes. The expert, which is kind of your skill monkey, psychic, which is kind of your magic psychic user. They're able to manipulate I forgot what they called their psionic powers in the system, but use psionic powers for utility, attack, convenience, whatever they're using. The warrior, your standard fighter build. But what we're going to be running is the adventurer. Because I always love customization. I love to have a little bit of everything. So with this, as we're going to, adventure allows you to pick between the three classes, and you get to pick two of them and get partial abilities from each. So we're going to pick the partial psychic, which is going to allow us to pick a psychic discipline at level 0, as well as get effort equal to our psychic skill level +1 plus wisdom, which our wisdom is a +0. So not too crazy, but we'll see how that goes. And then we get down to a minimum of 1 on that side. So pretty easy there. For the warrior, we're going to get a +1 attack bonus. We're getting 2 HP per each level. And then and we get an extra +1 to attack at 5th level too. So pretty straightforward on that side. We get a little bit of extra bonuses and some extra attack on that there too. And we're going to go through in a minute and pick our psychic skill and discipline once we get to that section. So now we done that. We picked our class. We get to go through and pick our foci. So with the foci, kind of think of them like feats a little bit. So with the focuses, you can go through and they do additional things that allow you to pick up either a skill you may need or some attribute that you don't have. We're going to use it to pick up some more psionic training. So with psionic training, you see that it's going to allow us to, since we're the psionic adventurer, we have to pick the discipline that we picked initially, and we picked telekinesis. We want to be able to move things with our mind, and that's going to allow us to bump up to a level 1 telekinesis person, which we also get to have an enhancement to our telekinetic powers. Also get the chance to pick a kind of an ability that our telekinetic manifests through. We're going to go through and pick once we get to the psionic section. So remember that we pick telekinesis for both our kind of adventurer piece as well as our foci, which is going to give us some cool stuff there. Yeah, now we've got that portion up. We're going to go back. We're going to be skipping 8 because we don't have any AI or alien PCs. We're going to pick one non-psychic skill, and we're going to pick stab there. We definitely want our guy to be able to be quick with a knife, so we're going to get stab +1. Now, since we've chosen the psychic class, we get to go to the little psychic section, which is boxed off a little bit. And we're going to go to telekinesis. So we put both of our points into telekinesis, which puts us at a +1. So you see at level 1, we can now manipulate objects as if we had 2 hands, lifting up to 200 kilograms with the ability. So we can lift up a decent amount there, like a person's weight or a little over a person's weight. And then with that too, we get to go through and pick one of these level 1 feats. I picked telekinetic armory because it sounds sick, which allows us to use our on turn action, which is kind of like a free action. We're going to go into that a little bit more in mechanics video, but it allows it to generate both weapons and armor out of telekinesis, pure like raw psionic power, which allows you to build a rifle with it, as well as armor, which equals your 15 plus your psionic skill level, which is 1. So our telekinesis skill level is 1, so 16 there, as well as dexterity, which is another +1, so 17 on that side. So pretty respectable. And then we get to make attack rolls with either dexterity, wisdom, or constitution. We'll use dex. And I looked it up too with the rifle at level 4 tech level, deals 1d10. So pretty solid on that side. We got a pretty nice rifle. We got some good AC, all from an ability that we can use as a free action in our turn using the on turn action. Sweet. So now that we've got that, we're going to go back to our abilities up here, and we're going to go through and roll our maximum hit points. So we're going to put well, that was already on the screen. So we're going to go through and roll 1d6, see how that shakes out for our HP. Remember, we get to add +2 to this due to our warrior adventure background. So that's going to leave us with the 5. We'll get 7 HP to start off with. We'd also add Constitution if we had a positive modifier, but our modifier is 0. So we're kind of blanking out there. Sweet. So we've got that portion done. Now we're going to go through, note down our attack bonus, which is a +1. And then we could go through and roll for equipment if we wanted to. For this video, just to keep it quick and easy, we are going to choose the soldier's equipment package, which gives us a rifle and armor, which we won't really need, but it also gives us a cop pad, a knife, all that, some credits, which we do need. So with that, we're going to kind of skip our armor class. We already know that. We've got our damage down. We're going to go through and do our saving throws, which are going to be based off of our core attributes. So there's 3 saving throws. You've got physical, which is based off of your choice of strength or constitution. We're going to run, they're both the same, +0, so either way work for us. Evasion, dexterity, or intelligence. We're going to use dexterity. And then the mental, which is wisdom or charisma, we're definitely using wisdom. And what that does is going to be saving throw, which is DC, will be 15 minus that attribute. So the only one that really gets a minus is our dexterity. Otherwise, we have to be at 15 to survive, whatever skill that is. And we've already picked our name, and his goal is to make credits. So we went through and built a PC utilizing the Stars Without Number system. Last thing we're going to do before we wrap up is just show a little bit of the Foundry stuff off and show what it can do for you. So let's get into Foundry. You'll see we've already kind of input some of our attributes into the system on that side, so we don't have to worry about that. We're going to go through and modify a few of our skills. We've got shoot 0 up there. We've got stab +1. I think we need to add exert still. Oh, no, exert +0. Already added that in. You see we've got powers in there, telekinetic armory. Nice thing with this being Foundry is if you wanted to go in and add any of the telekinesis powers, you could go right through here and pick them and drag and drop them in. You see we added another telekinetic armory in there. Let me clear these guys out. And that's it. The skills, to go through and modify them, all you have to do is just go click in, pick whatever skill level it is. And one of the nice things too, I should have mentioned earlier, is with attributes in the Stars Without Number system, or skills, I should say, is they aren't tied directly to an attribute. You're able to kind of have a conversation with your game master. So typically, stab would probably be either strength or dexterity. But with piloting, you can make an argument for dexterity being your hot hand on the stick. You're kind of quickly maneuvering through and twitching to keep yourself alive. You could say it's intelligence, plotting the best path through, or wisdom, you're more observant, keeping your eyes open for the best way to fly through. So with this, it allows a little bit of a conversation, and some of them just naturally sync up to things. But I know some people with administer, like with or heal, we'll say. Healing has always been contested in 5e, like, oh, it should be intelligence, it should be wisdom. This way, you can make the argument either way and roll whatever you like. And then last thing we'll mention too is if you wanted to get equipment, you can go through and get armor, all of that, and click on it and drag and drop it in. It'll add it to your inventory. And then you can go through and click equipment as well, ready, stowed, all that. And ready means it's already kind of worn and on your inventory. So if we click ready, it should be kind of good to go on that piece. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. Stars Without Numbers, a lot of like cool features, additional abilities you can add in, but the build itself is quick and easy. And I really want to give a major shout out to them for both having the quick summary guide and then the quick character creation too. So if you ever like have a PC die, you can just go through and just quickly get a new one to throw into the grinder. Yeah. Thanks for checking it out. Definitely in the comments, throw some things you guys like about the Stars Without Number character build. I don't know. I haven't looked at Worlds Without Numbers either, but I heard it's pretty similar on that side. So the nice thing is if you played Worlds Without Number or the upcoming Cities Without Number, pretty easy to dive into Stars Without Number too. But throw something you like in the comments. Also, like and subscribe if you could. Always appreciate the community's support. And one last piece, I am running to be an Innies judge, which is a tabletop RPG awards committee. So if you can, I'll throw a link down in the description. Please vote for me. I would truly appreciate it. But other than that, thanks everybody for watching, and until next time.